What if your chart could show exactly where the blockage for your relationship or marriage is? That would be priceless information, because if we know it, we can work with that. So we are studying the other people's charts, see their blockage to learn how to find them in our own chart. In this video, we'll take one example. We'll see what was the nature of the blockage, whether it was cleared, who cleared it, and when this finally happened. But we have 3 obstacles to overcome first, without which everything will be quite foggy. First is the Navamsha right? Second is which relationship is that? And third, which dasha to use. For the Navamsha, if the person was already married, we can use that. And we can see that he started the relationship in Venus Moon, and he married the person in Venus Rahu. The divorce was in Venus Sun. So this is the relationship we are talking about, because he was married 4 times. Now, important information, this was not the first one, this was second one. And we see Moon is the second lord and Rahu is in the second. So he started the relationship in Moon, married in Rahu. We divorce in Maraka to that relationship. So it's second from second, which is third. There we have Leo loaded by Sun. The divorce was in Venus Sun. That Navamsha looks fine, but just to be sure, we see that he married in Rasi Dasha of Aquarius, where we have 7th lord. Oh, that is fine. I'm staying with that. I don't need to move it. Now we can jump to the second problem, which is about choosing the dasha. In yesterday's video, we were talking about different than Kendra Kona positions of the moon and what to do about it, how to tackle these problems. Definitely we know that if a moon is in 12, then we are using the special variation of Vimshotri called Adana. So if you have a Jyotisha software, you can use that options for you, and it will change the whole dasha in your life. This will be like big eureka. You will have a new period. Oh my God, I was really in different period than I thought. So this is the Adana Vimshotri here working for the chart. Also the order of relationship. This is the second one. So in Vedic astrology, it's not everything clustered in one point. We have a separate point. So the pros for that is that we can, if we find it correctly, prognosticate for each relationship separate things. The cons is how to find it, which relationship it was. Was it really marked by the chart, that relationship? So if someone has many relationships, this could be some work to do. Navamsha is not only about marriage and relationship, it's also about the bhagya, about the fortune. So in fact, we can find all areas of life in charts like Shastyamsa or Drekana or Navamsha. So here we are on the Navamsha. How can we find here those financial problems? Normally we would see 10th house. 10th house is not so much afflicted here, but could we take 2nd and 11th? That is what we would do in Rasi chart for finances. These 2 are usually taken as the main. And normally we say, no, the Navamsha is the 10th. We should focus on the 10th. But there is Kemadruma, yoga, 2nd and 8th have a nodes, and moon is aspecting. And we can use that yoga in the Navamsha. It is really giving financial problems. And we can see, yes, this is there. So that is one aspect of the financial problem in this chart. You are thinking why we are suddenly talking about finances. If that person would marry, then the partner would also be engaged in $1 million debt from success from the book. So he had some tax, funny, interesting stories, which made him indebted. So that was the blockage for this chart. And how to see it in Rasi chart. How do we see bankruptcy? Recently, I got the divination lecture and we were saying about the 10th house. So 10th house afflicted. Here we have loaded with fiery planets, and the Venus is also there. So maybe there is some connection to relationship. All right, but we are not basing the predictions based on one point. Let's see Karakas. What Karakas are important for financial matters? It's like Jupiter, 10th from Moon, or 4th from Sun. 4th from Sun is Mercury. Mercury is in the 9th. That would be good. What's going on? But here we should say 4th from Taurus, because there is this exchange. So we are taking 4th from the other point. This is Sun. Now Sun is involved in all that problem in the 10th house. 3 malefics afflicting that Venus. Quite heavy. And the Dushtana, this is important. The Dushtana lords in the 10th house. So very much afflicted situation. Now, because there is this Parivartana, we can use that Mercury as a remedy. So if you have dispositor of a bad yoga in nice house or the Parivartana arm, planet is in the ninth house, you can use this planet. It will work very nicely. And what is the nature of the remedy? What has happened? And we see ninth is about some external change. Always we are talking about the ninth house. It's like COVID or some rules are changing. So in 81, the rule has changed that if he would go bankrupt, then also his tax things would go away. It was probably more nuanced, but that is the main important thing for our context here. So the ninth house, suddenly the rules are in his favor. This is what has happened. In that dasha related to Venus was this whole twist. Now we would say, oh, in the Navamsha, there is also this problem in the 12th house, financial matters. So it will be implied in the career life. In the Kashinat Hora, you will find the same parivartana between Mercury and Venus, but now it's on the second and first house. First house blocked. It also shows in this chart, I cannot move. The whole doors are closed. So bankruptcy is like that. You cannot do any financial transaction. It's like end of the game. We're also talking about this point. What we did till now, we have Navamsha, we have a Dasha, it was second marriage, and we also have found, yes, there is a problem in the finances. We could add here the sixth house factor that would differentiate these financial problems from others, because in bankruptcy, it is usually preceded by a court case. So it's sixth from Arudha. Why we are using Arudha in Capricorn? Because we have Mercury aspect and he was a writer. So you can see that Mercury is also removing the thing from the court case, right? So it will be more court cases. So Mercury is removing or solving that issue. So also from this perspective. Now we know this is not only a financial problem, this is also bankruptcy. And to give more detailed, probably we would not predict that, but we can find this to learn and to imbibe those principles. Sixth lord is also Rahu, and seventh from six is that Mercury in 10th. So those books, those assets, because 10th house is about the assets. Unfortunately, he lost the rights to his books. That was also the part of that whole bankruptcy thing. And there is also a twist. We will be talking about that soon. So we see 7 from 6th lord, what the enemy, or here the court case, can take. It can take your assets, your books, because like passive income, he's earning from that. So now he's giving that whole catalog to other person who would gladly take. Now is the time to connect to the relationship, because we have described or we have found in the chart the financial problem, how now it is related to the relationship, and how to know to which relationship and what to do about that, because that is the core of the problem. And normally we would take 9 and 12 from Venus, because this is like past of marriage. If there is some blockage there, then you cannot marry. And 12 from Venus would be that Venus itself, which is partially working here. But what you want to take is that first from Venus is also showing yourself. So you are the problem to marry, right? What kind of your problem is there in between you and that event? Your financial issues, because it's the 10th house. So your situation is the problem first from Venus. What kind is the 10th house? If we see Mercury was solving that, where is the Upapada? Upapada is in Aries, not connected, but it was the second spouse, right? So how to see second spouse? 8 from Upapada, Scorpio, also not there, but at least in Kendra. So they are interacting. Kendra means the same mobility, different tattva. Kona means same tattva, different mobility. So Kendra means I'm helping you, I'm supporting you, even if we are different. Trikona means we are similar, we are same, we are on the conference, not in the school. Conference means there is one topic and people on the different stages of learning. So that is the Trikona, the difference of time between first, fifth, and ninth. We want to have Mercury related to the second Upapada because the marriage finally happened and this was the solution. Mercury is the solution here. And what if we would take 7 from Upapada? Because that Jupiter is Marana Karakastana here, so it's like Saturn. We can take 7 from Upapada, and especially if it reflects the nature of that person. She was an actress in Navamsha's second lord. Moon exalted, very popular. There is also that Mercury thing going on in Navamsha. So yes, she is the 7th from second Upapada. This is who she is. And now the Mercury is solving the problem. So it is solved, and she solved it in 2 ways. One, circumstantial. So she was just at that time. So this is, we can use this for timing. So we can say that his financial problems are solved during the second marriage. But now also we know that she was buying the rights for those books with her money. So this is how she also protected his, because part of the deal was that he has to give away those rights, and she bought it back. So we can also see that she is proactively remedying the chart. The connection is not only parallel, happening in the same time, it's also casual. There is some proactive things connecting Upapada, second Upapada, and that Mercury, which we have found is the remedy. We are almost there. How to now confirm in the Navamsha the timing and the cause? Because the Mercury, the 10th house, was the cause from the Rasi chart. Now in the Navamsha, if we see the 7th, because the 7th is the marriage, right? But in the Navamsha, the whole Navamsha is the marriage. The 7th is the partner. The 1st is how it starts. Just like we have seen the Kashyant Hora has blocked the finances by having those malefics in the 1st house, Navamsha is also blocking here because we have Saturn in the Marana Karakastana. And Venus and Sun are also 12 lords, and 12 from Atmakaraka in the 7th. The Venus is also afflicted. So the 7th is also not helping to solve the situation. Otherwise, the 7th house aspecting the Navamsha could unblock the doors, but it didn't because of Venus also in a big problem there. A lot of Agni, Mars, Ketu, Papakartari, 2nd and 12 planets from the planet in question is afflicting it very much, blocking. It cannot move. It's in the very stuck situation. So we have to find another sources for marriage and also to unblock. So is there any other planets who is giving the marriage? It's unblocking. It is the Jupiter. Because Jupiter is the 7th lord, so 7th lord can also give marriage. Jupiter is aspecting that Mercury, which is unblocking the thing. But the timing system is funny here, because that Jupiter got activated in dispositor way. Jupiter is in the sign of Aquarius, and Rahu is the dispositor of Aquarius, also Saturn. But Rahu is in the 2nd, Saturn is in the 7th. So in mothers of second marriage, we know that she was very instrumental. In that time, the Rahu activated Jupiter. How? By giving the second marriage, because the 2nd house is about second spouse. Just to repeat, he couldn't marry because he would put that whole debt on that person. So first he got bankrupt. And as we said in that bankruptcy lecture, often it is a remedy in its own because you are like losing that whole baggage. And we have seen that Mercury did that. It is the problem in the 10th house, big issues. In fact, the cause was bad investments, and Mercury is the remedy. When the solution has happened, or how? Because of 9th house, change of law. When? During the second marriage, because it was 7th from that Upapada. And then we are going to the Navamsha to confirm all that thing and provide the timing that yes, Jupiter, dispositor, is Rahu in the 2nd, so they married in Venus Rahu. Now we remember in Navamsha the problem was Ascendant itself. It was that Mercury in the Lagna, afflicted by Saturn. Saturn in the 1st house is very bad position. And Rahu is in the Maraka. So Rahu is also solving, in a way, that issue. It would be hard to solve without that Jupiter dispositorship, but he has it. And therefore, he is also solving the problem of that blocked ascendant. What is the lesson from this? By understanding the connections of yogas and planets to that relationship grahas, we understand how the blockage is and when it can be removed. How to know when it will be removed? We have to find the remedy graha, and we have to find the problem in the Rasi and in the Navamsha. So in this case, it was very much entangled with Mercury in Navamsha and in Rasi chart. So the nature was finances. And we have seen that the partner was proactively instrumental in changing that, because that remedy was connected also to the Upapada. In your chart, probably the situation will be different. It will be different yogas, different houses, different solutions. But I hope you got some of these generic rules to trace and to find these problems and solutions. If you would like me to help you with your chart, then you can find the link in the description. And if you'd like to master the Navamsha rectification, please consider watching this one.